Evening, guys. I'm Alexander Ned here, live for you on NASCAR Heat 4 in YouTube land. So glad you could join us for a very special night, the third race in the playoff chances for On a Mission. I'm joined in the booth by Brennan. Brennan, I am new to this league, and I want to thank Avery for allowing me to help broadcast tonight's event, and I understand it's a special one. We are in the desert tonight, Phoenix International Raceway, where playoff points are going to be on the line.
Oh, yeah, for sure. ISM is one of my favorite racetracks. There's all kinds of lines, let alone it's the playoffs, the cutoff race before the finale at Homestead. Should be a great race.
I expect to see a lot of passing, a lot of competition with this league, and I expect to see perhaps that yellow flag come out more often than perhaps it should, considering we are now in playoff territory.
Oh, yeah, all these guys, they want to go for a championship. They might do anything to get that one extra playoff point, or maybe that win that they're desperately needing to get into that Final Four.
Real quickly, I will give you guys a look at the playoff standings. And again, I am brand new to this league, so if you forgive me if I do stumble over here. But we do understand that of the 8 contenders that are playing for a chance for the championship, 4 of them are in that cutoff line. 4 of them are out. 2 of them are locked in. We have Celtics fan in the 11 and Voltage Bags, also known as that, in the 19. They are locked in. They will be fighting for a championship in 2 weeks. From there on out, it is still anybody's race. We have from the back in the 43 car and JRM Keffer rounding out those top 4 playoff standing points of people that are in, and then outside of the cutoff line, AJ Storm, that number 2, Goofy in the number 8, Trey in the number 3, and then Redleg in the number 31. We are in Phoenix Raceway right now, and we'll take you with a quick look around this racetrack. And Brennan, why don't you walk us through how somebody who's going to have success is going to drive this racetrack tonight?
You know, one thing, the thing about ISN is it's a lot like last night in the midnight race. Even though they're 2 different tracks, whoever's going to get on that gas, I think is going to win this race. You got to dive it into the bottom a little bit, sort of let off, and then whoever can get in that gas, that's going to be the one who might be able to pull away and get a victory.
At any track that we go to in any type of the circuit, Xfinity Truck and Cup Series, we worry about one thing here, and that's melting the right front. Are we going to see some right front failures here tonight?
We might, you know, it's a tough track. That right front might just blow away as fast, really fast. But you know, all these guys got different setups. Their tires might wear at different points, etc.
We're riding along right now, Phoenix International Raceway, which was brand new or renamed by NASCAR after ISM actually broke that tradition with the racetrack. They broke their naming rights very early, actually, in the season, in what was supposed to be a 10-year relationship. But I think that's for a good thing for NASCAR. They look to branch out just a little bit more and returning a familiar name to this racetrack. Many people know it as Phoenix International Raceway, and that will be the name for the 2020 season. A lap around here will start you at the start-finish line is dogleg. You'll see these guys cut through. Again, that apron not out of bounds here at Phoenix. You're going to see a lot of guys dive down. They're losing every inch of this racetrack. Then a right, you'll want to keep it near the bottom of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2 before a little bit of a flatter turn 3 and 4. And if you're not on the gas, you can do exactly what I just did right there, which is scrape the wall. The guys that will find success here tonight, again, will be those that are able to manage their tire wear and not melt a right bead, or in this instance, just wear out their tire and perhaps see themselves into the wall.
One thing also is that, like, that turn 3 now, once was turn 2, that's going to be very important for these drivers.
And why is that?
It's because you know, the more inside the better, because it's cutting the racetrack, cutting tenths. Same with that dog leg. The more inside you get, the better lap time you get.
Slow down.
Also unique for Phoenix International Raceway is you are pitting on the front stretch. The pit road here encompasses about 3/4 of the racetrack, and that's interesting because we have 16 competitors here at night. The guys that are going to be making adjustments here, 16 competitors, I mentioned that number because those that are in the back of the pack have a lesser time to make adjustments than those that are pitting up in the front of the field. You'll have a little bit more of an advantage to make those adjustments as you make your way onto pit road. Let's take a look at the point systems for On a Mission right now. Noko, he is number 1 in points, followed by AJ and Trey, Diesel, and then Marcus. Oh, excuse me. This is the roster. Excuse me, guys. Again, I said this is my first time with On a Mission here, and I'm just glad to be here. But we have an exciting field tonight. Noko, AJ, Trey, Diesel, Marcus E-Dub, Celtics fan, Bailey, Goofy, Bags, NRG, Redleg, Patch, from the back, Chai, Keffer, and Finn. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce that. But a lot of these guys are exceptional drivers on the PS4 side. It should be an exciting and competitive race here tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. These are some of the best guys I've ever had the pleasure of commentating, and I just got an invite from AJ now. I'm not going to accept it yet.
Looks like we are just moments away from going racing. Real quick, we are beginning on a sort of a somber note here. Obviously, big news in the sport community, the passing of NBA legend Kobe Bryant. We are opening up tonight's race with a dedication and a tribute lap to him. So we will fall silent once we take the green flag immediately and honor undoubtedly one of the best basketball players we have ever had a chance to witness in history. Kobe Bryant and 8 others were tragically killed in a helicopter crash in California this Sunday, or earlier this week on Sunday. And it's an accident that has claimed many lives and cut a lot of them way too short. So as we get into this race, I do want to honor his Black Mamba mentality, and we will fall silent again with a tribute to one of the greatest players ever in the NBA. A 3-wide salute beginning now.
We see some guys actually running some Kobe schemes. I think very nice looking 19 car. And there's someone else that is Bailey back. Yeah, number 12. That's a very nice looking scheme.
Winner of 5 NBA championship titles, 2 gold Olympic medals, and number 1 in everyone's heart tonight. We are about to get the green flag here, 156 laps. Voltage, your pole setter, on the inside, the 42 on the outside. Through the Geico restart zone, On a Mission is green at Phoenix.
19 diving it down.
Oh, got a car on the wall already. Hard hit with the 3 car heading into turn 1. We weren't even up to speed. Excuse me, that was a 2 of AJ Storm.
19 pulling away just a little bit, the 43 slotting in line, the 42, and I believe that's the 6 make just a little bit of contact.
There's that dog leg we were talking about there, Brennan. You see these guys diving underneath it. That's not going to get old at all here today. You're going to see guys run that extreme inside line throughout the day.
These restarts, man, they're going to be crazy. We just saw it a little bit there. The 2 got on the wall just straight off the restart. The 6 is all over the back bumper of the 42.
Watching up high from the Goodyear blimp, the 43 car in second place. This is the battle for third. It looks like AJ Storm's been able to minimize that bleeding right now. He falls back in line in the 5th place. This battle has not been settled yet. It's the 6 car trying to use that inside line to his advantage. But the 42 car has the preferred groove, and he'll muscle his way up and bring the 2 car with him. Now he'll dive to the inside. Taking a look at the 43.
Here comes the 43. The 6 is still not giving up, though.
All this side-by-side action has allowed the 19 car to kind of break away from the rest of the pack. Pat's ace now in the 42, using that Larson machine. Able to clear the 43 right there to Stanner, and Marcus Edub in the 6 car, taking a look underneath again. The 43 car starting to run that upstairs line, not to his liking as of yet. Now, Brennan, I'm not so sure. Again, this is a custom league setup, right?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, 43 riding the wall in turn 1 and 2. And that allows the action to single file itself out. As I say that, 6 car, Marcus Edub taking a look to the inside, trying to take second place, the crossover move, and he'll go up to second.
See if this 42 is going to come back with the 2 of AJ Storm is still right there. What's going to happen to him?
We'll try to get a lap count here for you, and I do believe that we have one competitor running a stream, so we'll be able to tell you exactly what lap we are on and who is going to be going down on pit road. But right now, most of the field single file so far, no issues. Just a couple of people fighting that outside wall early. Damage not on though, thankfully.
I believe these guys are going to be able to go the full run here on this first stage.
That might be so, but something that's different from Phoenix versus any of the other cars in, any of the other tracks that we have on NASCAR Heat 4, the tire window and the fuel window are considerably different here.
Oh yeah, that tires in this game, especially with the new tire model that they add to this game, tires are going to be wearing just a little bit more than they usually do, although that it is on 2 times, not like 4 times, but it's a lot different from Heat 3 to Heat 4.
See if we can go work our way back up front. And I misspoke earlier. The 43 car is driven by from the back. I said Anna earlier. He usually is in that 43 car. That is my mistake. I will try to right those wrongs as we go on throughout the race.
You see the 6 actually catching a little bit up to the 19 now on the back bumper.
Voltage way up the racetrack right there. Marcus Edub trying to capitalize. In fact, he will. Side by side out of 4 through the dog leg. Wow, really loose. Almost looking like some Wi-Fi connectivity issues out of the 6 car, but he's able to nonetheless work his way up to the point. In the 6 car, Newman leading early for On a Mission.
Now the 19 fading just a little bit. The 42 is fine.
Taking a look at some of these battles in the back of the pack. 1 car on pit road. That is Red Leg Racing 757. Early pit stop here. And we'll go a lap down. Red Leg is running a unique paint scheme. He is in the 22 running for Veteran Suicide Prevention. Undoubtedly one of the leading factors of suicide are veterans that have done so much for our country, which are trying to raise awareness for that. Is this 22 Red Leg right now? A great honor to have on his race car here, but he has some work to do to get caught back up and in playoff contention. Back up front. 6 car continuing to lead here. Voltage has now fallen back. He was your pole sitter. He's back in 5th place. What do you think is going on with the handling on that race car, Brendan?
You know, I'm not entirely sure that he has a long run setup. I think he had a great short run setup. Like 15 miles.
Well, I'm not even so sure that we've gotten to lap 15. It's kind of early for that short run speed to fall off, do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think so. It's just, I'm not too sure. He's going to have to make some adjustments here to get that long speed up.
Single file action through most of the field as again the pole setter has fallen back to 5th place. Pat Sace now running along in second, and AJ, who had hit the outside wall early, that was your outside pole setter, or excuse me, just inside the first 2 rows, has rebounded nicely up to third. Real quick, Brendan, we are getting some significant, at least, a blowback from your mic. Just wanted to let you know. Back up front, the 6 car, Marcus Edub continuing to lead. The 42 car trying to run him down. Newman and Kyle Larson, who have a little bit of history going back to 2013. It was Ryan Newman looking for a way inside the Championship 4 for what was then a newly introduced format for NASCAR. He only needed 1 position on the racetrack. Kyle Larson was in front of him. Don't have to tell you exactly what happened there. I think you guys already know. Newman body slammed the 42 car, put him in the wall in order to get that spot, taking it away from then Jeff Gordon, who finished second in that race. When he crossed the start-finish line, Jeff Gordon was in, but when Newman crossed it, Jeff Gordon was out. Battle for third. You see AJ Storm falling back in the 33, has been able to get around him. That is JRM Keffer having a great day so far and a great, unique paint scheme. That Gatorade 33 Chevy Camaro. Brennan, are you still there? We might have some technical difficulties here, so we'll see if we can get Brendan back here in just a sec. 20 car, Nanner riding the wall to the outside. Looks like handling issues coming to play for that 20 car, which did see victory lane here in 2017. It was Matt Kenseth, his last win in the Cup Series. Another competitor we haven't talked much about here. Celtics fan running inside the top 10. And again, he is one of those competitors already locked in, using this as his advantage to try and prep for what will be a grueling 2 weeks in order to take away the championship from his other competitors. Both Celtics fan and Voltage, the 11 and 19 teammate numbers in the Cup Series, are locked in for On a Mission's Final Four.
Testing, you got me?
I got you there, Brendan.
Alright, but yeah. Plan to...
Oh, and then we lost you. Well, this battle is shaping up right here. Diesel in the 4 car, 3 wide, briefly. 43 car from the back, trading some paint and almost a collision. The 13 car to the high side as Diesel rounds out of turn 4 on the bottom of the racetrack. It was on and then it's off again, but Diesel making up some ground and using that inside line to his advantage. Up front, continuing to see Marcus Edub there. That is Red Lag, I believe, just in front of him. Actually, that might be another competitor. Red Leg is in turn 4. So that would tell me that... Take a look. Another custom paint scheme for Kobe right there. And again, forgive me, I am still learning everyone that is on this racetrack. It is the 3 car Trey. Trey trying not to go a lap down. We do know one competitor is a lap down with an unscheduled pit stop. We can only assume this early in the race, and that would be Red Leg, who doesn't want to see the 3 car Trey go a lap down here, because that would put Trey, the first car, 1 lap down, and Red Leg would then be unable to receive the beneficiary pass to get back and caught up on the lead lap.
Trey and Redleg, I believe, are in playoffs and in must-win situations. So
Looks
not really
like
having a very good days right now.
Trey is actually going to bring that 3 car down pit road, 45 miles an hour. And another competitor going to pit road early in a must-win situation. These actually might be scheduled green flag pit stops. See the 20 car also on pit road.
See the 6 still leading him, having a very, I believe this is his first start here in this series. Showing out here, definitely.
We're going to keep an eye on Marcus C-Dub as the field begins to make their way down pit road. So I want to keep a constant, something that has been terrible as far as getting a true roster and running order for NASCAR Heat 4. We don't know exactly who is in the lead, and it could get very, very unorganized here if we don't follow who's leading right now. So Jaron Keffer in second. It looks like the 42 car Pat States has moved his way back down to third. And Keffer is actually running down the 6 cars. We might see handling issues start to affect these competitors up front.
Yeah, the 6 car just looks a little bit screwed. The 6 is actually running a little bit of a different line, going much higher in turn 1 and 2. Maybe trying to get a better run off of the corner.
He's using that, and that high line won't abuse that right front as much than when the car's in the low line there and not having any of the banking for the car to kind of ride throughout the turn. But the 33 car definitely has the speed, and he is there.
Oh, but the 6 kind of just has that run off the corner in turn 2. The 6 kind of goes high in this corner. The 33 dives it low.
Defensive line now, the 6 car using a dog leg to his advantage. And it looks like these guys are, you're right there, Brennan, these guys will not need to make a green flag pit stop. So a lot of those guys that actually did come down pit road, those are all really essentially unscheduled pit stops. So these guys that did pit, and we'll try to get it to roster, and I'll have, hopefully if Keffer is hearing this, he could go through so we could see exactly who is on the lead lap and who is not. But this is 4 laps to go in stage 1.
See that turn 3 and 4 last lap round from Keffer? That is what I was talking about in the pre-race. You got to go down the apron like he's doing right now. Try and get down, not in the apron, but he's right there in the 6.
Ooh,
make a little bit of contact.
Right there, 3 laps to go, and JRM Keffer making his presence known, getting to the lead in front of Marcus E-Dub, but he's not giving up yet.
Now he's gonna try crossover.
Tires have got to be screaming here. These guys got to be at the end of their window, and if a caution comes out right now, oh, Marcus E-Dub is around out of turn 4, the leader crashing, single car incident. He gets it back going. Did a tire blow on the 6 car?
Maybe so. These guys are going to be getting really, really loose here.
Keffer now has a mirror full of Diesel. Diesel has worked his way back up to the 2nd position. 1 lap to go in stage 1. Tower has now called a caution. We stay under green. Can the tires hang on for less than 1 mile here in the desert? Diesel is there. Not going to give it up easily to the 33.
So remember, the 33 is in the playoffs. He needs these points.
Defensive line blocking the advance by the 4 car, who sends it in there. 1 final bump. It's not going to be enough. JRM Keffer winning stage 1 at Phoenix.
Looks like Keffer had some good long run speed in that stage. To see if he can improve on that just a little bit here in stage 2.
See the 8 car there out of shape just in front of these leaders. And a lot of these guys perhaps having a tire go down. Big story right there toward the end of that was the 6 car of Marcus E-Dub. Diesel bringing it home in second. The 1 car, Noko, in third. from the back in 43 and 4th, and Celtics fan in 5th. Some valuable stage points. 10 cars on the lead lap, rounding out the top 10 point-paying position for Stage 1. Pat Chase, 42 car. Marcus E-Dub finished in 7th. Finney in 8th. Voltage in Chi-Town, 9th and 10th. On the lead lap are just 11 cars. There's one car, one lap down. That is Nannerbred. He will get the free pass, putting 12 cars on the lead lap. The rest of the field, 2 laps down. Brennan, I think we saw and learned a lot from Stage 1, how you are going to have to take care of those tires because Stage 2 is going to be the same length.
See what these guys can do here.
Green flag is about to be back out. Stage 2 underway. JRM Kepper leads them down to turn 1.
So I believe the one may have took no tires, got into place.
These guys all took tires, I assure you of that. There's no way no one did not take any tires.
Interesting, because how'd the one get up there then?
Oh, he drove himself all the way up to, he finished there in 4th, I believe. And he might have had a great pit stop.
Yeah, for pulling away just a little bit, but we know that one is fast.
Riding along, just seeing up forward, we see Keffer get a good jump on the rest of the field, but a little bit of contact to one car. Ooh, slicing and dicing up there. The 11, a Celtics fan in no man's land. No grip. That can pay off now when the tires are fresh, not so much late in this race. Marcus E-Dub in that 6th car, you know he's hurting and itching to get his way back up to the front. Had good speed, now stuck in traffic.
See the 43 all over that one bumper. One going high, 43 going low.
Still side by side. Look at Voltage to the inside.
I believe
Will up to 2nd right there from the back, but hanging on is Voltage in the 4 car. Back in the gas early, using the high side to his advantage. Now he'll use the draft of the 43 to pull him side by side. Once again with the 19 into turn 3.
I believe the one may have hit the wall off the 4 there, but we see the 43 going high. The 4 very hungry going underneath, under the dog leg. If I'm a driver, that's sort of the line I want to be running. It's the shortest way around. You might not get the greatest corner exits, but I think it might help you on the tires a little bit.
And let's talk about this, because this is not considered a short track, but you run the race like a short track there, Brennan.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like one of those tracks. It's similar to maybe a Dover or a New Hampshire, where it's like both a short track and an intermediate of how fast they are.
This battle for 2nd is not giving up right there. You see the 19 car duck back behind the 43 car briefly, but he has not given up. Marcus E-Dub to the bottom of the racetrack there. Him and the 42 have also been trading a little paint. And the first 6 cars have been side by side, essentially since the drop of the green flag to start Stage 2.
You know, the thing about this top 4 right now, these are the drivers that are currently in that top 4. Voltage and Celtics getting locked in by the wins at Michigan and Richmond, respectively. And then you got Will and Keffer. Voltage is actually going for the lead.
He did, and that is your pole sitter there, perhaps making some significant adjustments, taking the lead away from the 33. He's in the wall, though, and that will slow the momentum down for the leaders, and the rest of the field will catch back up.
I believe the 13 is on pit road. That is goofy.
He might have been one of those competitors. A lot of these guys, only 12 cars on the lead lap. And again, we will not need to make a green flag pit stop in Stage 2. However, the tire window might not last you the same amount of laps. These guys have got to save their tires, and they've got to do it now. How hard is that, Brennan, on this game, where you want to go hard and chase down the leaders, but you also got to protect what you have underneath your car?
Oh, it's really hard. It's just, I don't think there's a perfect balance. Heat 3, you can do it pretty well, but Heat 4, it's a totally different game, totally different mechanics. Even saving fuel is a little bit hard in this game.
And so what can you do from the race car, from a competitor's standpoint, as far as trying to save some rubber? What do you do?
Just sort of run it a little bit easy. You don't want to be just tucking it into the corners like every corner. You just kind of want to smooth it off, maybe just let off a little bit earlier than you usually would.
So another pass for the lead right there. JRM Keffer got back around. Voltage in the 19. Celtics fan as well, with real NASCAR Cup history on his side. The last man to win this race was the 11 car, Denny Hamlin, who then was able to lock himself inside the championship 4 for the finale at Homestead last year.
I believe the 13 has lagged out, eliminating his championship 4 opportunity.
Oh, that is sad to see. Goofy in the 13 running for Ty Dillon. Not going to be a factor tonight for On a Mission. Marcus E-Dub making his way back up to the front. He's up to third, and we did see some long run speed out of there. Can he protect his tires this go around?
The 4 making a little bit of an aggressive pass on the 43. The 43 is falling back just a little bit. It makes a little bit of contact with 42. 42 is a little bit squirrely.
Yep, and he'll drop back all the way to 9th place. The 48 car, Chi-Town, able to get around him.
Seeing the 6 car just showing up.
Oh, got a car in the wall. Backstretch.
Stuck in the wall.
Giving way to the leaders there. No harm, no foul. The rest of the field gets by through them. Ooh, another competitor not having a good day right now, who was up front with AJ Storm. He's kind of running by himself. At the start-finish line now, and don't know if he had an issue that sent him in the back of the pack, but he'll need to make sure he doesn't go a lap down, or if he does, become the only car 1 lap down.
And the 6 is being really impressive right now, making his way into 2nd place, trying to hunt down that 33.
Up the racetrack there, Voltage. And excuse me, go ahead, Brennan.
Did you see that line right there from the 6? He went a little bit high. I think that might be what he's trying to do to save his tires a little bit. But last time he did spin out, so maybe trying something different. Like right there, he went to the bottom of the track there.
Well, he was, got a car almost to the inside. He just got loose off the corner. But he stayed green. I don't believe any further contact. But back to what you were mentioning there, Brennan, he used that high side. He might be trying to save a little bit of tire, but remember, he was kind of on the defense that last time. Right now, he's working his way up to the front on the offense.
The 6 is just really impressive on these kind of mid-long runs. He kind of, he had some good short run speed, then that middle of the run is where he started to catch leaders, leading some laps, and then once it got toward the end of the stage, he just couldn't control it.
JRM Keffer using his onboard cam for us on YouTube. You can follow him right now, and I'm actually taking a look at him. He is calm, cool, and collected on that race car, using his wheel, looking in his rearview mirror, trying to keep an eye on Marcus E-Dub, but I just don't see any anxiety as far as any competitors yet to try and rattle his cage and get up to the front. He's very calm, very collected in that race car, and he's not turning the wheel. Something that could give him anxiety, though, are those lap cars ahead of him.
About to say something about those lap cars. I believe that is the 22 of Redleg and the 2 of AJ Storm.
Redleg was already 2 laps down, and Storm up the racetrack right there, trying to prevent himself from going 1 lap down. 1 car on pit road. I believe that is Bailey. It is. He was the car you saw slow on the back stretch a couple laps ago. You see Redleg to the outside, giving way to the leader. Whoa! Into Marcus E-Dub and into the wall! Man, lap traffic playing a factor. Good thing damage is not on, but a moment for the 6 car, Marcus E-Dub.
I believe the 22 just hit the wall, and I don't think you saw the 6 coming, as the 2 is also struggling getting into the wall right there, trying to let the leaders pass.
You know, when you're a lap car, you have every right to be on the racetrack as anyone else there, but it's got to be a little bit frustrating for these guys that are on the lead lap there, because new for NASCAR Heat 4, it's not like in the old games where you weren't able to tell of the lap car. Maybe you don't use the rearview mirror, you might not have that setting on there. You weren't able to tell that a lap car or the leaders were coming at you, but now we have the track map.
Oh, the track map is one of the greatest additions in NASCAR history.
And you have to wonder, did those guys know the leaders were coming? Were they not looking at the track map right there? They had to see that custom paint scheme tracking around at a blazingly fast pace. Marcus E-Dub, though, no harm, no foul, and thankfully damage is not on. He maintains his position in second. And it's a 4-car breakaway at the front of the field. You see Diesel and Celtics fan as well, trying to hang touch with JRM Keffer.
You know, actually, Keffer has not won this season, surprisingly. Led a lot of laps. Unfortunately, has not been able to get it done. This might be his best opportunity here at ISM.
He's proven it right now, and I believe he's one of those guys on the outside that's looking in. And a win here would definitely spoil that party, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He would get into that third playoff spot, and then that last guy, that's all about whoever had the most consistent finishes from the 3 races. That would leave
Pandora will win next week.
Oh, yeah. That would leave it down to
just those 4.
AJ, Trey, Redleg, and Goofy is out of it. So one of those 4 has to be consistent enough, try and get a good finish here to get into that 4th spot if Keffer wins.
Oh, well, you know what? I don't see Keffer, though, in the playoff standing, so is he actually in? We have 8 laps to go, by the way. And again, I'm trying to figure this out. This is all brand new to me. I don't see him as far as the cutoff for Homestead, so I don't know. Is he one of those drivers that is actually fighting for a chance to be inside?
He's fighting for a chance to be inside.
Inside the top 4, so that is correct.
Yeah. Is it 4 and the 6 making a little bit of contact? 6 going high. He's going to let the 4 by.
That's Diesel in the 4 car. I'm not so sure, actually, because... And excuse me, Keffer is... I'm looking right at it. Keffer is already inside the top 4, so he would lock himself in. That would not necessarily take away a spot from one of those guys already inside the top 4, considering he's already there.
Yeah, that's not right.
No, you're good. That's me. I'm just looking at it right now. So he's having a great run so far, and it could be the timeliest of wins here tonight. You know, going back to some of the other leagues I have commentated, Keffer had some heartbreak here at Phoenix in the Midnight Broadcasting Network. He had a car go around in front of him that unfortunately took away his chances of advancing into the Final 4 for himself. It would be great to see Keffer get it done today on a racetrack that he saw him essentially lose it.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're getting a little bit closer to the end of the stage, and like the last stage, we have the 33 and the 4 up front.
4 car, taking a look at JRM Keffer in control. 4 laps to go, this time by.
See what Diesel is going to do, maybe try a little bit of a different line. Yeah, you see 33 going a little bit middle, 4 going low, 6 trying to just ride in line, see what kind of line the 4 is going to take.
3 laps to go, this time by. JRM Keffer with a mirror full of 2 Fords right behind him.
See,
Marcus E-Dub there. Keep in mind, these tires have got to be screaming You don't want to have an issue. Looks like we have a clear racetrack. I don't think any of these guys are going to have to deal with lap traffic toward the end of this one. Next time by, pit road will be closed. 2 laps to go on the stage, and Marcus Edub to the outside of the Ford. That's the battling that this 33 wants to see in its rearview mirror. Them side by side could allow the 33 car the lead he needs to win the stage.
No, the 33 is really the only guy that needs these stage points. You got 2 non-playoff guys in the 6 and the 4, and the 11 is already locked in. The 33 really needs these.
So you know the 33 car is going to protect, but how much of a risk did the 4 and the 6 car take in trying to get around the 33? He'll have 1 lap to try and battle it out. Watching on board, the 6 car gave a little bit of a bump to the 4 car. He'll look to the inside. The crossover move. Now it's all about who'll have the advantage and a better line into these final set of corners. Way down low. Car spun in front of the leaders. Not going to be a factor. JRM Keffer winning stage 2. Marcus Edub rebounds from an earlier spin to finish second. Diesel in third, and the caution is out for the second time today.
I believe that was the 3 of, yeah, it was the 3 of Trey who spun on that final lap in front of the leaders, and fortunately got out of the way. But you know, after 2 stages of racing, we've had a lot of good battles. Who do you think has the best chance of winning tonight?
Well, right now, I would say JRM Keffer. He's been able to show the speed. We know he has the ability to work his way up to the front and stay up there. Didn't panic when the 19 of voltage showed some short run speed. But you have to wonder what changes and what adjustments are being made in the 6 car camp. Marcus Edub has a lot on the line right here, and I know he wants to try and win this race and take away a chance for JRM Keffer to secure a spot in the championship 4.
Oh yeah, and I believe that's a 6 first start, so he's being really impressive out here tonight.
Only 1 car, 1 lap down. That was AJ Storm. He'll get the benefit of being back on the lead lap, giving us 12 cars still with a chance to win this. The third and final stage in the desert is green.
See the 6 fighting back on the outside. The 33 is going to clear him, but here comes that 6, letting off just a little bit, almost diving inside.
Taking a look to the inside right there was the 6 car. Looks like he had his nose cut off just briefly. And the field begins to fan out 2 and 3 wide through the dog leg. And Marcus Edub to the inside, trying to get back to the point. He will do so out of turn 2.
33 slotting in 2nd place. Celtics in 3rd. The 43, who is also needing a little bit of stage points, in 4th.
So Marcus Edub back to the point. Celtics fan, highest he's run all day, back in 3rd. Almost giving the bumper to the 33 car. Way up the racetrack. Almost in no man's land. In fact, he'll lose a position to the 19. And the front leaders try to get away. Diesel also backing up in that 4 car.
The 6 already up to a pretty decent lead here over that 33 and the 19. You haven't really seen him much today. Trying to hunt down Keffer for that 2nd position.
Well, he saw the 19 car. He just had that short run speed. I'd like to see what adjustments being made in that Toyota camp to try and get him around for the long haul. This is a long stage. The only first couple of stages were just 34. This almost doubles that. 78 laps they restarted. We have 75 to go, and a green flag pit stop will have to be made.
And I want to ask you, how hard is it to get, I believe they're going about 120 to about 45 miles per hour down that pit road.
Yeah, 45 miles per hour. I think we documented earlier today how it's a long and grueling pit road. Now, considering that the game gives you, takes control once you get on the pit road, it's not really that much of a factor as far as getting on and off. It's just the adjustments and hoping you have a good pit stop given to you by the game. But if the caution comes out during that run of green flag pit stops, that could seriously end your chances of going to victory lane here, because you're not going one lap down with pit road taking up 3/4 of the racetrack. You're going two, and it's going to be hard to bounce back from.
Oh yeah, just see the, I believe, shoot, hold on. Yeah, the 19 was able to get past the 33. Now the 43 and the 11 coming up on that 43, or 33, sorry. Maybe the 33 is saving his tires a little bit.
He might be there. I don't think there's any cause for concern yet, but that is a big lead we have seen out of the 6 car, one of the biggest we've seen all day. Voltage in second, but again, I just don't know if we've seen the long run speed out of that car that we've seen with his other competitors.
Yeah, if this thing comes down to a green-white checker, I think that 6 is definitely in contention. Not only might make an aggressive move or two, but he's just pulling away a little bit from the 19 voltage.
Taking a look at some of these guys back in the pack. You see Nannerbread just outside of the top 9. I believe this is a battle for tenths between him and Chi-Town. A couple of competitors are a lap down, including the 3 car you saw go spinning right in front of the leader. Thankfully, he stayed low and out of harm's way. But Red NRG not having the night he had hoped here at Phoenix. Another competitor that hasn't made a lot of noise. In fact, both cars out of the Earnhardt Ganassi camp really haven't shown much of anything. They've been having much of just a ho-hum day, but Pat Ace so promised early in stage 1 in the 1 car Noco. I don't think I've talked about him at all. Unusual for the 1 car there that usually shows speed no matter where I go on the PS4 side.
Well, you know, that one, he got, I believe he got into second on the start of the second stage. He hit the wall off of 4 and then just faded completely.
Now damage is not on, thankfully, but again, tire wear, that's been a story we've been following all day long. Can you save your right front and your right rear? It might not just be how these guys, this is a custom race setup league, how your adjustments in the race car are affecting your tires, both front and rear, can play a factor into you going to victory lane here at Phoenix. Cause for concern yet for the 33 car. He's fallen back to 4th. That's pretty low so far in this stage of the race for him.
The 12, I believe, may have spun it off with 2 or in the middle of 2. I believe also the 22 of Red Leg is either left or lagged out of the race.
33 car has fallen back after dominating stage 1 and stage 2. He now rides along in the 4th position there, and a sizable gap to try and get caught back up. However, something to point out with JRM Keffer is that he is on a clutch and wheel system. So he has been able to, and I've known this from other leagues that he has been in, he's been able to save a little bit more and go a little bit long in the distance. And one thing that I saw from him in a race that I commentated last night, he was able to pit late and therefore have fresher tires toward the end of the stage. So that could be on the mind of the 88, or excuse me, the 33 is the 88 in the other league. That could be on the mind of JRM Keffer. So no cause for panic for fans of Keffer yet. This could be going all according to plan for him.
So he's running. It's a little bit weird because in the dog leg, he's not really going under that yellow line. Of course, you can go under that in the yellow line. There's no limits here. It's just kind of weird that he's kind of just staying above that yellow line.
And do you think that's just driver preference right there, or does that have to do with where the car wants to run and is more comfortable in?
You know, it might be more comfortable there, but as well, you know, the shorter way around the track is the fastest way around. And I think the shorter way around is, of course, where you might save a little bit of fuel. So Gonna be interesting to see where he ends up after this green, when we get green flag this time.
Now I was unable to see exactly what a full fuel run, and I do know that this is a ×2 wear. I think a full fuel run for these guys would be around in excess of 36 laps. That, to me, if you split the stage in half, we went and restarted with 7 to 8 laps to go. That is just shy of 38, so these guys might have to stretch it. You might essentially actually have to take 2 laps to go. Now, something with Phoenix that I've known, though, in the past is that you can save a lot of fuel by doing just exactly what we're seeing from JRM Keffer, and that is get out of the gas early, and you'll naturally around, I would say, even with the setup, you naturally save about a lap, perhaps a lap and a half of fuel here from what the computer gives you when you start.
Well, look at this, the 19 and the 11 actually catching up just a little bit to the 6. You think the 6 is fading, or maybe just saving a little bit of tires there?
Well, when you have a good lead like this, and considering you got to know what your competitors are doing, and unfortunately you don't have, when you're on NASCAR Heat 4 and PS4 leagues, you don't have the benefit of a crew chief or crew being or spotter to tell you exactly what other competitors are doing. But it's got to be on the mind of these guys, you know, what JRM Keffer has got to be doing. So I think these guys are trying to put a little bit of distance in front of themselves, in front of whatever strategy that the 33 car has in mind.
Yeah, these top 3 looks like they're not really saving too much. They have pulled away a lot by the 4th place cars, and 19 just let the 11 go.
58 laps to go. We are about halfway in a fuel run. These guys can make it, or will need to make a pit stop here in about 20 more laps.
Let's see, let's look a little bit further in the field. Let's look at from the back, trying to chase Keffer down. Do you think Will might be saving his tires a little bit as well?
A lot of these guys, I think you got to do something that they're not. I always say when you have a car that's not as good as what we've seen tonight from JRM Keffer, Marcus CW, and those guys that are battling for the win right now, you got to do something that they're not. So maybe, just maybe, this 43 car could be on the same strategy that the 33 car is doing as far as trying to save tire and fuel in order to make this a one-stop race. The person that wins tonight's race is going to win this on one stop. You cannot make 2 stops and be competitive without the yellow flag coming out.
I believe the 3 got in the wall in the back. He's trying to chase down Nanner there. Let's look at Celtics fan right now, actually catching the 6 right now on his back bumper a little bit.
To the inside, there is Celtics fan underneath. Marcus C-Dub riding the wall. In fact, he'll hit the fence out of turn 4, and Celtics fan to the point, and the 19 is teammate trying to follow suit.
The 11 out to the lead. I believe, yeah, the Toyota's now currently leading. The 6, I think, might be saving it just a little bit. He's still in the draft, but there isn't really a draft here yet.
Well, and we are about 20 laps into the stage, but we are heading towards uncharted territory, and that is essentially how far can these guys go without making a green flag pit stop. So I think these guys, that number, we have the same access, we have access to the same numbers that these guys do. They know that they can make it as far as 36 laps in a fuel window. They've got to get to that number in order to make a pit stop and make it the only one of the night.
I mean, one question we also have is, you think we could see maybe someone back in 7th or 8th, maybe the 1, the 42, maybe even the 2, maybe try and just stretch and hope for caution?
Well, that's not a bad strategy at all, but right now you have to consider yourself. You got to be in what I call a plan of attack in order to benefit from anything that does happen. I think what Larry Mack would say, look at the patterns and trends of this race. Is there the usual yellow flag that comes out? In real Cup Series competition, there is usually a caution that happens, usually with 20 laps to go. But PS4, and with a league like this that's been pretty clean so far, we've only seen some single car issues that have not triggered the yellow flag I don't think you can count on the benefit of a yellow flag coming out. But if you are in the back of the pack, why not go and, make that chance? Take a chance, go down pit road, perhaps early, try to wait for a yellow flag after a green flag set of pit stops, and if not, no harm, no foul, you're going to finish in the back of the pack anyway.
See, the 11 is pulled away just a little bit. The 6 is still hanging with the 19. Not really trying to make a move, though. A little bit too far back.
I tell you, this is great to see for the 11 car Celtics fan. He's had some issues as we have one car on pit road, and this is early. Voltage. He was your second place competitor, has gone on pit road right now. Another competitor, in fact, a number of them are coming down. You see the two of AJ Storm and Nanner. And this is with 49 laps to go. This is definitely outside of the fuel window. So you have to wonder why the 19, the 20, and the 2 are on pit road.
Maybe trying to make a two-stop race here. I'm not sure why these guys would make it, but we'll see what's going to happen here.
Well, we are going based on the fact that I believe these guys can make it on 30. I think you said 36 to 32. But maybe not. Maybe this is a two-stop race. And you'll have to forgive us if we misspoke, or if I misspoke earlier. I'm not sure, but we'll keep an eye on it. Continuing to see, though, it is JRM Keffer. He's fallen back to 5th place, or actually now up to 4th. That Marcus Edub is in. Edub is in, and this would tell me that perhaps these guys are on a two-stop cycle. Who is not, though, I can tell you, that's been saving fuel is the 33 car. All following the plan.
I think that might be the winning strategy there. I'm just not sure a two-stopper is really going to help you too much.
Well, a two-stop, we know it's essentially what you just said there, Brennan. You're going to have to make two stops. Now, I understand the fuel window. The only cause for concern that might derail the 33 car camp is the tire window. Can he stretch it that long? Because the fuel window and the tire window, as we documented earlier, it's not the same here.
No, it's just the tires here, even in real life, the tires here just kind of go away, not really fast, but they just go away. Actually, they do go away a little bit fast, but just kind of got to manage the tires, and I think the 33 is doing a great job of that right now.
Hopefully so, as we continue to see Celtics fan in control of the race and in control of the lead. Has not visited pit road yet. We have 44 laps remaining. And these guys, we know their right fronts have got to be screaming, or right rears, depending on your setup. In 3rd place, I believe, will be is Diesel. And just behind him is the 4. Now, Celtics fan, what is a benefit for him is that he's already locked in. And that could play into a factor for JRM Keffer, as far as if a competitor that wins is that is already locked in, he still has the benefit of winning both Stage 1 and Stage 2 to his name. It's a great point day for the 33.
See that? I think the 33, or not 33, the 11 has just run some perfect laps right now. That perfect 1-2. He cut the dog like just perfect. Then go down the back stretch. Watch how he takes his turn 3 and 4 right here. Down to the bottom, underneath, almost hitting the apron. That's beautiful.
Taking a look at Noko in that 1 car, he'll put him a lap down. And the 11 car has yet to go in. If he's low on the racetrack, is he going in this time? Nope. Wow, I'm impressed by the speed and what we've seen out of this race car so far. On pit road is Jason Kepper. And Noko as well.
Those 43 will from the back. Celtics still staying out. It'll be interesting to see what strategy he's trying to pull.
Keffer is on pit road, and we can tell you right now, a full fuel run is 40 laps. He was only able to make it about 36. So that's still outside of the window for him. So he's not safe as well. This could be a two-stop race for him. And with that in mind, even though he has fresher tires right there, that could not be enough to try and make up the time for these guys that are already on the pit road. He's either going to have to, A, save even more so than he did this other stage, or B, hope for a caution. Celtics fan is still out there.
You think Celtics is trying to hope for a caution right now?
I don't know, but the more laps he goes, the better he is for the other part of his strategy once he gets on the pit road. We do know that now that he can make it. We are within the pit window right now to make it, and he is the only person we've seen go this far on the set of tires. He is yet to come in.
He doesn't seem to be looking to save right now as he goes all the way to the bottom. That's what I was talking about in pre-race. You got to get all the way down below that dog leg. He's still staying out.
You know, did we miss something? Did he already pit? I don't believe so.
I mean, the interesting thing is that he isn't saving at all. So maybe we did miss something, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's interesting. I thought we saw the 19, we saw the 6 car down pit road. The 11 car, he's out there, and he's been out there for quite a while. He might have already pitted, guys, and unfortunately, if we did not catch that, I don't know exactly what his strategy would be. That would then put it into the favor of the 33 camp as far as staying out the longest and being able to stretch it on that run. Because you're right, I don't see, he's definitely at the end of his window right there. We have less than 36 laps to go. That would mean we went green with 78 laps. Doing some quick math, that's about 42 already. These guys, he would have had to pit by now, so that would tell me he did already pit. Had a great pit stop right now in order to take the lead.
I mean, let's not forget, this 11 is already locked in. Basically, this win would secure just a little bit of bragging rights over these other drivers.
But it's not over yet. It's all going to come down to strategy, and a lot of these guys we do know. Oh, car on the wall, turn 4. It is D. Bailey, who has not had a good day at all after significant contact between him and the competitor that is in front of NOCO Racing. That is the 43. An issue between those teams, sending the 12 car back to the outside wall. Hard hit for that competitor. We stay green.
The 11 is still staying out. I think we definitely missed something because he is not saving at all, and he is definitely past the window if he did not pit.
So we do know the 11 car through process of elimination and the fact that he would not be able to stay out right now would be your leader. The 6 car, Marcus Edub, in the 19 car, second and third. And we saw in the 19 car, he was the first car that we know of to go down pit road. And he will definitely, a lot of these guys we know are going to have to make it a 2-stop race. Those guys that we aren't sure of, or one person that we don't know, is the 33 of JRM Keffer. I say that we don't know because he was the competitor to stay out the longest, but even he had tire wear issues on that last run. So it's unknown for that race team if they can make it on 1 stop or if they're going to need 2. And if he's on a 2-stop strategy, even if he gets down there for just tires, like everyone else, that would essentially take him out of the chance to win here at Phoenix.
D. Bailey is on pit road. I think someone else is on pit road. This guy's like that. But it's interesting because if the 11 of Celtics already did pit, 40-something laps ago, why would he pit?
Well, he would have to pit because he would be on the same window as both Marcus and Voltage. We do know that Voltage pitted. He was the first car to pit. So I believe he was just probably right along. He might have pitted a little bit with Voltage. He might have been actually one of the first cars because he got a good lead. He might be one of the first cars to have gone on pit road even before Voltage that we just missed. And we assumed that he had not pitted yet. Oh, in the wall from the inside to the outside, spinning is Trey. Single car incident right in front of the pack. 3 competitors at speed get around him. And he rides the inside wall before getting back up to speed in the 3 Chevy Camaro. We were on board with Trey when that happened. Some tracks are just not kind to certain competitors, and Phoenix has not been kind to the 3 of Austin Dillon, Trey, 7964 at all.
Oh, not at all. I believe from the back is on the same strategy as Keffer. Where is Keffer at the moment?
Keffer continuing to see the 42 car, Pat's ace, and I believe this is a battle for 5th. I don't know of anybody that's in front of Keffer. I do know that isn't Marcus, EW Celtics fan, and Voltage. 27 laps to go. Keffer, we know, is the only guy that can make it on fuel, but tire-wise, still unknown. It'll be a long, grueling 27 laps to the finish line, and you're not going to miss a thing as we go NASCAR nonstop, and I take a quick break to get some water. I'll be right back.
Alright. We see the, let's go, I want to talk about this Marcus EW guy for a minute. This guy's run very solidly here, you know. I believe it's his first start here on a mission. Not only is he run well and competed, he's led some laps and been competitive. So, I'm not entirely sure where he's at now, but look for him to maybe make a late charge if we get maybe a quick caution. So we see Keffer right now heading in the 1. Keffer obviously trying to save just a little bit of tires right now.
Alright, I am back at it. Sorry about that. I just had to get some water for whatever finish this is going to be, because I can tell you it's going to be thrilling, fans. We have a lot of varying strategies at play. Most of the field going to have to make this a 2-stop race. There is one competitor trying to make it on 1. Will the tires hold up? Celtics fan continuing to lead here. And lap traffic now playing a factor as the 43, the 48, and the 1 are in front of them.
The 11 and 1 just made a little bit of contact. They straightened it out. See how much faster the 11 is. He's just a little bit faster than the 1 right now, even though he is on old tires.
And when you are on older tires there, but you have a 2-step strategy there, you might as well run as hard as you can, because you know you're not going to be able to make it. And now my question for you there, Brennan, is because you're on a 2-stop strategy, what does that entail? What do you do on that second stop? Do you do 4 tires, or do you take 2 and just splash to make it to the end?
You know, it really depends what position I'm in. If I'm trying to take a 2-stop strategy and maybe I'm in like 4th place, I think I'm going to take 4 tires. Maybe if I'm back, back at 8th or 9th. Is the
leader is in. Celtics fan is in. So that translates the lead to the 19 car, his teammate, that is Voltage. And if you want to actually keep an eye on Voltage there, Brennan, I want to keep an eye on the 11 car, and I will time his pit stop, and I can tell you, the fans at home, exactly what he decided to take.
I believe the 19 is actually on pit road with him.
Painfully slow, 45 miles per hour. Now the attention, the decision factor, it's on. The money stop, as many would say right now. He was able to get onto pit road cleanly. And it looks like it's long enough to take a 4-tire stop. So that's 4 tires in Sunoco fuel. Might not be the winning strategy, but we'll see how it plays off for him. Celtics fan. Marcus Edub is in as well. Let's see and count his pit stop.
Comes a 19 down the front stretch into that dog leg. So we see the 2 of AJ Storm also on pit road, Nanner on pit road, Marcus Edub on pit road.
A little bit of contact. Again, another 4-tire pit stop for Marcus Edub as well. So no 2-tire strategy, which is an interesting call for these guys. I believe that changes the lead. It could give it to, I believe it would give it to the 33 of Jason Keffer. D. Bailey back on pit road. Voltage and Edub, you see the 42 car. Let's see how easily he's been able to pass. If the 42 car already went down pit road. I don't believe so yet. Neither the 33 or, what do you call it, the 42 have been on the pit road.
You know their tires are going to be hurting massively.
That is a pass to get back 1 lap down. They are not back on the lead lap. They will need to go around another lap in order to get themselves on the same cycle as Jason Keffer. Now, with the 33 car in the lead and in hot pursuit is the 42 car. These guys have been nose to tail since the drop of the green flag, basically, in the Keffer falling back. You have to wonder what the strategy in the tire window falls for them. And if I'm Keffer, I'm a little bit nervous there, Brennan, because of the 42 car. That is a pass for position right there. This is first and second. It's not it's not another competitor. These guys are both on the same strategy, trying to stretch it there. We know fuel can, but tire wear.
Tire wear is going to be very important here. And here's the question. The 19 and the 6 just got past these guys. These guys are running just a little bit slower lap times. Their tires are hurting. Do you think that 6 and 19 may get a full lap on these guys and maybe challenge for a win?
Going back to actually the real race, we have seen people be able to unlap themselves here at Phoenix on fresher tires. The difference between fresh tire and old rubber is almost 2 seconds, the tire fall off rate. So that wouldn't be unheard of. In fact, you see where Keffer is in relationship. The 19 and the 11 and the 6 car, they are gone. Ooh, Keffer rode the wall, and that's not good for him or his tires right there, because when you have an issue like that, you abuse the right front and the right rear. You need not to do that if you want to save tires here at Phoenix.
So you see the 42 just trying to, not really even making any moves, just letting off in the corners, going a little bit high, just trying to save those tires like Keffer is.
12 and the 48 car, you see just on the edge of your screen. They are not on the lead lap. I cannot tell you who is third or fourth, but the guys that we are following right now, 5 competitors right now, the 33 and the 42 car, they are running first and second. Celtics fan, Voltage, and Marcus Edub have all been on the pit road. They had 4 tire stops. They are trying to run down in case the strategy does not pan out for the 42 and the 33.
So currently, let me check here. The 19 is just on the front stretch. 42 is now exiting turn 4. That's about... they've caught up just a little bit by like 2 seconds. That's like 23 seconds they're going to have to make up in just about 20 laps.
And 9 laps to go.
Oh, never mind.
Here at Phoenix, so not a lot of time to do it. 42 car is in a delicate spot because you want to try and contend for the win here, but you also don't want to blow a tire. I can't tell you. I know as a crew chief, actually I don't know as a crew chief, but from my time viewing NASCAR, it's hard as a crew chief to tell your driver you've got to slow down when the race win is right in front of you.
Oh, wait. I'm getting word from AJ right now. Diesel is leading. Diesel is leading.
Oh, man. Thank you. So Diesel's leading, but we do know he might have to go down pit road as well. And again, this would go for as far as strategy. I don't know if he can make it there. Diesel also did go down pit road. He might have to go down, but we will keep an eye on it. As there are just 6 laps remaining, we are coming to 5 to go. Diesel, out of nowhere, literally could win this thing if he has saved enough tire.
Maybe of course he's got to save those tires, but you also got to think maybe he's on a little bit of a fuel strategy as well.
Oh, he's made his bed. He's got to lay in it now. And 3 laps to go, this time by intense racing up front.
Just point out this 4 is not in the playoffs, just trying to get this win for just a little bit of bragging rights. But let's not forget here, if we were to get caution right now, very unlikely, but if we did, it would change everything.
Yes, and those guys that were on pit road, Marcus E-Dub, Celtics fan and Voltage, they would all come down pit road as well. 2 laps to go. And this 4 car continuing to lead in front of Jason Keffer and the rest. And excuse me, we are coming to 2 to go this time by.
He's actually coming up on the 42. I'm hearing that Keffer is currently in 6th, so I believe the 42 would be in 7th.
Well, this is a topsy-turvy race all over the place right now. The 4 car has been able to outlast everybody and outsmart us up in the booth. I didn't even see him. He's been able to go Houdini style up to the front. The white flag will be faced this time by, and that 4 car has not slowed down. Kevin Harvick had a way at Phoenix. He's had one of the closest finishes we've ever seen at Phoenix. Came in 2016, him and Carl Edwards going to the line. He has, I believe, 6 wins in the Cup Series circuit. Now, as the white flag has already been displayed, it'll be a one-stop strategy that allowed Diesel to get the win on a day that saw Keffer dominate, but the 4 car out of turn 4 winning at Phoenix for On a Mission Racing League.
Congratulations to that.
That is a great run, and I apologize. We spent so much time focusing on cars that we thought were in contention. It's just very hard to see exactly and follow lap by lap. Oh, couple of cars coming across the start-finish line that have not finished, have spun out, including Steve Bailey. Jason Keffer involved. He just got back across the start-finish line, and it ended in a shower of sparks for a couple of competitors getting to the start-finish line right there. There was a crash coming to the checkered flag. Tires might have gone down.
Second is Celtics, and then 3rd is Marcus.
Interesting strategy, and we might have to just talk to Diesel there. I think we saw Keffer blow a tire right before he was able to finish in 6th place.
Yeah, we have pretty much everything.
We'll try and invite Diesel, see if we can talk to him.
That was a great race and a great finish.
Oh yeah.
Celtics fan had the fastest lap right there.
And
there he is. Diesel,
on,
mad
guys?
props to you, man. I got to apologize to you on air. We missed you actually taking the lead away during that cycle of green flag pit stops by the second stop made by Celtics fan, Celtics fan, Voltage, and Marcus Edub. I did not see you even at all until about 8 laps to go, where we were told that you were indeed the leader. How did you save enough tire in order to make it on a one-stop strategy?
Yeah, man, it's all set up. You have to slow it down and not run those fast times at the beginning to be able to make it. And the way that with my driving style, I know that I have to hit a certain mark where my right front's wearing more than my right rear, and was able to do that. And then my right rear caught up at the end and finished about even on my right sides.
Did you have that strategy? Did you know that from the start of that third stage that was what you're going to do, or did you kind of get coerced into it once you pitted for the first and only time under green?
That was definitely the plan, because sometimes you can run run those first stages and not be able to make it, and some guys can, and then you're stuck a lap down trying to get a lap back because you had to pit and some others didn't. So that was definitely the plan. I knew that it would be around 80 laps for the last stage. So just built the car tight. It's actually pretty much my pro league setup, which is one of the better long run cars that I got. So that was the plan, and I just stuck to it and prayed that we didn't get a caution. And it worked out.
I'd say it worked out for you greatly there on a number that we have seen go to victory lane multiple times. Kevin Harvick, his best racetrack is Phoenix International Raceway, and you were able to get him yet another win for On a Mission there. You're not in the playoffs there, but you got a great win so far. What does that say about your chances perhaps next season?
Yeah, came in a little bit late. Didn't necessarily run all the races even when I came in, just kind of a part-time thing, but definitely gives me confidence, and definitely don't want to ruin anything for anybody in the playoffs, but it's still nice to go up there and run up front and be able to compete for wins and make it a little bit more challenging for those guys.
Well, awesome. You made it a challenge for everybody else, and they were unable to complete it, as you are the winner here tonight for On a Mission. Thank you so much. Brennan, it wasn't the finish we expected, but definitely one that I think we deserved there as far as making it. We did know the racing strategy was going to come down to only pitting once.
Oh, yeah. It's, I kind of expected this a little bit today. It's one of my favorite tracks, but definitely had a good race. A little bit of a tire strategy, but congrats to Diesel, and we'll see if we can get points here in a little bit.
I do know. I'm not so sure what next week is on the schedule.
Next week would be Homestead.
Next week is Homestead. Okay, and then what is the championship finale race?
The championship finale is Homestead.
Oh, I thought we had 2 races, right? We're missing a race.
From what I heard, Homestead's the final race, but AJ made it.
Okay. Well, we'll try to figure that out here, guys. But before we end this, I want to give a thanks to AJ and everybody else that has allowed me to once again call yet a great race on NASCAR Heat 4. And I want to thank Brennan so much. We had a great run, and that was a fun race to talk about. Oh, you cut out right there. Can you say that one more time?
I was really looking at somebody.
There you are. Go ahead and say.
Okay. But this league has some of the greatest drivers in the world. Yeah, you can't lie about that. You got guys like from the back. Some guys that are already. This league is growing.
That it is, and with the addition of the pro race, the second season of pro race starting to come up, that's going to be exciting as each one of these drivers has a shot to try and get their name backed by a real NASCAR Cup Series team and try and race both online for the esports. And I'm excited to see that there. Just announced today, you can begin setting up. We've already had the Pro League qualifying there, but from January 30th, which is in 2 days, I believe that's tomorrow, actually. Starting tomorrow into February 26th, you can start qualifying and work your way up, make a name for himself right here on NASCAR Heat 4. But until then, we have a championship to crown, and we will do so here for On a Mission. I will be again back for that race, I believe, in 2 weeks' time. That will be brought to you right here on a Mission on YouTube. You can search through that on my Twitter as well, AlexNed2. And Brendan, before I end this, final thoughts as we go into the final couple of races for On a Mission.
Well, I'll say this about Homestead. That's also one of my favorites. It's one of those tracks where, you can run all those lanes.
That is very true. It's a unique 1.5-mile racetrack that I'm sad to see actually will not host the championship finale for the Real Cup Series. Actually, Phoenix, the race that we just had today, will be hosting that championship race for 2020. However, if the finish was anything like what we saw tonight, I think the fans can agree that we will see some great racing. Want to thank, again, everybody from On a Mission that allowed me to bring this to you. I'm Alexander Ned. That's Brendan, and we will see you guys next time right here on NASCAR Heat 4 on YouTube. See you then. So long from On a Mission.